Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is set to be arraigned following his arrest in Washington Monday night. Tarrio is suspected of setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner stolen.
I'm not going to cry about a group of people that don't give a crap about their constituents.
They call themselves Western chauvinists. They're certainly male-dominated.
And this right here shows you the power when we, the right wing, unite.
The leader of the Proud Boys makes a stunning revelation.
I am a Western chauvinist who refuses to apologize for creating the modern world.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Breathe fire like a dragon killing demons. I'ma go hard, yeah, we gotta seize the day. Hellfire raining down upon my people. You're gonna bring the
What's the choice?
bury it today. We all been lost, we all been cold. Everyone rise to our brethren code. We got your back, we all been low. Let's all rise to the brethren.
But in no other nation do people enjoy greater freedom, opportunity, and prosperity than here in the United States of America.
USA! 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 USA!
Do you condemn those people? Can you say that right now?
Okay, I can't say that because I think
Why not?
condemn is a very strong word, and I think it's a little bit too strong. Because I'm the head of the organization, and I know exactly what we planned and what we didn't plan, and we did not coordinate to assault the Capitol.
Enrique Tarrio is the Proud Boys' current leader. And over the past 4 years, he's seen the group grow from a few guys in a bar to thousands of members across the United States.
Right now, the most important thing that we have going for us is that we all share the same belief. The belief that we should put America first. America first! America first! Who's safe? Who's safe? We're all Proud Boys! We're all Proud Boys!
Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa!
What's happened? Where's it playing? All right, I got it. Welcome to a special episode of the NBLE live podcast with my guest host, Joe Biggs. Last minute, Joe called me. He said, let's fucking kick it. Let's go online. There's a couple things to talk about. Joe, welcome to the show.
What's going on, brother, man?
What's up, buddy? So
just chilling, man.
So as we're like, right after you called, right after you text me to go live, I want to start with this. I just saw this from Kash Patel, and it's funny, really funny, because we saw this designation of Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. Nobody saw what, nobody knew exactly how this whole thing was going to work, and actually now we're starting to see how it works. A couple, one is Trantifa, because he's tranny, and Antifa, got charged, and now they added a terrorism charge because of the designation by Donald Trump of Antifa. And I'm gonna, first off, while I bring that up, what do you think about that, Joe?
I mean, it's about time something happens. You know, I mean, these people are the actual domestic terrorists in this country. Sure as hell isn't us. We've just been the scapegoat. They just use us, as a beard to cover for their own wrongdoings. And that's something the left always has done, is they like to point fingers at the other side and blame us for what it is that they're actually doing. And that's what we do. We've been the fall guy for the actual crimes being committed by the left. And the media loves to blame us and say that we're the ones committing these atrocities, and it's the Proud Boys, and it's the right, it's the woke right, it's the whatever. But the entire time, it's been the left. It's always been the left. The left is the dominant force when it comes to extremism in America. They're behind the KKK. They're behind pretty much every major incident that's happened. The left runs the FBI, so every major incident that's been allowed to happen, the left is allowed to happen. So it's nothing new, but we'll see. They're this is a good first step, but still, all roads lead to Pam Bondi and everything to that DOJ. And we all know that when things get on her desk, they tend to disappear like the Bermuda Triangle.
I like to call it the woke Reich. I think that's a good name for it.
Yeah, that's what I put in my
where have we heard that before? So From Director Kash Patel, first time ever, the FBI arrested Antifa-aligned anarchists, violent extremists, and terrorism. I'm guessing he meant on terrorism charges. Oh, and terrorism charges have been brought up for the July 4th Prairieland ICE attack in Texas. Under President Trump's new authorities, we've made 20 plus arrests. No one gets to harm law enforcement, not on my watch. I'd love to see exactly what these charges are, right? Like, what's the statute that they're using? Obviously, it's not going to be. It would constitute seditious conspiracy in this case because, as we saw with our case, it's pretty simple to get seditious conspiracy. All you got to do is stop the execution of any law by force, and one can say shooting an ICE agent. Which I think is what happened here. You're trying to stop a law from being executed, and the use of force is obviously the shot.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is on the judges, on the jurors, on the law enforcement there on the ground, on the prosecutors, and you can get away with anything. And that's what the left has. They have ownership of the justice system in this country. That's why it's the injustice system. We have no fair trials in this country, as we've seen many leftists over the summertime throughout all this BS, these different ICE riots. We see these people, it's a revolving door. They go in the front door, slapped on the wrist, and they're right back out again in the streets, fighting again, assaulting people once again. So until we can get a grip on who these prosecutors are, we got to get rid of these corrupt judges. We need to really just revamp this entire justice system because they're supposed to be picking judges at random, but it always ends up being the most favorable judge to the people who are sitting there, in front of the judge, unless you're right wing. And then it's the most unfavorable that just always gets picked. So we really need to look at who we are as a nation. Are we going to be this way? Are we going to be a country that is, its justice system is just one big giant kangaroo court? Or are we going to actually have a blind and impartial system? And we're not there yet. There's a lot that's got to be done. Quite frankly, I don't think this administration has the balls to do it.
Yeah. So, and just to jump on that, something else that happened, I think yesterday, is that guy from Doge that they call Big Balls.
Yeah.
Right. Remember, he got fucking attacked or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the judge let off his assailants with just probation in DC, right? So we're seeing, I mean, this isn't new to us. Like we're reporting on this like it's a new thing, obviously, but like there is a two-tier justice system and it still applies today. And we're seeing also, you guys put in a motion in February to dismiss the charges that we went through. And we saw Pam Bondi's DOJ push back on it and said, no, everything here is done properly. But then a couple months,
as I'd like to say in this administration, kosher.
Yeah, everything's kosher. And then just a couple months later, they fire Jason McCullough and a couple of the other prosecutors in our case because of how they handled January 6 cases. And you can't have it both ways.
Apparently, you can have your cake and eat it too with this administration. I mean, you're allowed to do whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
But and then there was another story that you brought up right now, which was a police officer.
You got the cop.
Yeah, I saw that.
The illegal immigrant in Chicago, right? And he's a police officer.
Where's this cop from? ICE arrested, illegal.
Where did I put it at? It keeps coming through my feed. I sent you another thing too, an actual audio clip or a video clip of Fetterman saying that they're right. The Trump supporters aren't fascist, and they should stop. They should start toning down that rhetoric, calling everybody on the right a Nazi, because they're definitely not. And he's getting a lot of pushback from Democrats right now. I sent it to your DM.
Oh, okay. On Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to pull it up right now, but let me pull this up first. Let's pull up this cop case. This cop case first. Bring this up on the screen and let me read from this. This is from Nick. Breaking. ICE has arrested an illegal who was hired as a police officer in Maine. This is insane. Democrats have gone so far off the deep end, they're giving illegals the power to arrest you. John Luke Evans, apparently is his name, was employed by Old Orchard Beach Police Department, who even issued him a firearm. Well, obviously, he's a police officer, so he's supposed to have a firearm, but he's not supposed to be illegal. The feds got wind of this when he attempted to purchase his own firearm from a dealer, throwing a flag to the ATF. Just when you thought Democrats couldn't get any lower, they find a way. Is this him?
I thought it was a white dude.
I saw a white dude in one of the pictures.
It's hard to tell, man. They make so many clickbaity things to get you to click on something, and then when you scroll through, you find out
he's apparently Jamaican. Yeah, I saw the picture of the white dude, and I was like, that guy doesn't look too illegal. This guy looks illegal. Wow, I'm probably gonna get shit for saying that. Whatever. It's true though. It's true. The guy that you're talking about, I saw the picture. It's like a white dude, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, he had like some like Ukrainian Russian name or some shit like that.
Yeah, if he was from Finland or something, yeah, maybe he's illegal, but I don't think the Finns are coming in troves trying to get to the United States. Jamaicans obviously are. And obviously you could be a police officer. So imagine getting fucking arrested. This is wild.
And now he's going to get deported. And then in Jamaica, that's the worst thing that could ever happen is if you leave your home country, come to the U.S. and get deported, you're called the deportee. And you're like shunned back at the island. They will not speak to you. They hate you. You're like disavowed. Because I had a Jamaican roommate for like a split second. And he was telling me about that. He goes, man, he's like, I don't want to go back to Jamaica. He's like, they'll fucking jump me. They hate us.
Yeah, because you leave your own country. But could you imagine? I imagine this guy has to have, because Jamaicans have they speak English, right? But it's like this dialect of English. So it's very difficult for them to do away with their dialect. Right?
Actually, it's not. When I was at Talladega at the prison there were two guys in the DC black car, and I never knew they were Jamaican until they brought it up, and then they turned it on, and it's like, oh yeah, your boy, man,
well, imagine that dude pulls you over, right?
Let me see it. Let me see a license registration, Bomaclat.
What's funny is I don't know if this Orchard Park or whatever it's called police department assists ICE in their endeavors to catch illegals. But I could imagine that this guy, if they do, that would be fucking hilarious that this illegal is deporting illegals. Now imagine him just giving you a fucking traffic ticket, right? Or shooting, or like an officer involved shooting, right? He goes ahead and he goes into the scene and he shoots an American citizen, probably unjustly so. In some cases.
He'd be the next George Floyd, man. They'd have murals for this guy. He'd be a hero.
Oh, well, we already know that fucking liberals are going to fucking like lose their shit. They're like, well, he was doing his job or whatever.
He's been here for 25 years already, so he's been breaking the law for that long. I mean, that gives you a free pass.
Yeah, that should be a felony. If you're
promised that job 2,000 years ago.
Obviously, it's a misdemeanor to be an illegal, right? After like 2 years of being in this country, they should turn that into a felony.
Yeah, the longer you stay here, and evading, it's just like if you evade capture for so long, and then you get caught, the punishment is much harsher than if you were to just like turn yourself in or something like that. So I don't know why it's different for these people. They get to just fucking run around and not have to pay taxes and get their free Obama phones, and they get free handouts from the government all day. And then when they get caught, we have to sit there and have a pity party and cry for these fucking losers. No, fuck you.
So the local taxes, funny, you mentioned something really important. So they're local taxes and federal taxes, because there's federal money that comes into local police departments. So his entire salary is paid by the taxpayer, whether it's local, whether it's federal. If you've ever paid taxes on something, chances are there's some pennies that have gone of your money. You guys that are watching this right now that have gone to this guy's salary. It's befuddling. Like it's wild that this is like how do you have to pass a background check, and most of these police departments have what's that shit called, the NCIC, the FBI,
NCIS
checker. So you're telling me that there's heavier scrutiny on being a gun owner because the reason why they picked him up was because he tried to buy his own firearm, than being a cop where they give you a gun for free and they give you the license basically to do whatever the fuck you want. Like, maybe I should apply to be a fucking cop. Or be the fucking sheriff of Miami-Dade County. I think that would be like the best position ever. Instead of being like a congressman, I'd rather be like the sheriff. Like,
because you don't even have to be like a cop. Like, to be sheriff, you just have to just run, and then you get to be like the top cop in the area. It's like you don't have to have any kind of fucking police training or anything like that. You just get to put the uniform on and be the top cop. It's the same as like being a judge. You don't have to have any kind of fucking judiciary experience, any law experience. You just get to be a fucking judge and like preside over people's lives and their future. And that's just another part of this whole system in this country that's just retarded.
Maybe
hard R.
Maybe this weekend I'm gonna apply for ICE. You know, they got that $50,000 fucking signing bonus.
Sign up bonus.
And I could buy myself a Camaro.
Is it tax free though, the bonus?
I don't know.
If not, you're only gonna get it with like 10 pesos. That'd be enough to buy like a week's worth of groceries after you get it. Fucking prices now.
I'll be hood rich. Another thing, like all this that we're talking about, you had brought up a great idea the other week, to go on a small tour, in Florida. So give the viewers a little bit of insight on that.
Yeah. So what I want to do is start in the Panhandle, work our way down the west coast of Florida, down around just the tip, come back up the right side of the shaft of Florida, and then end in the middle. I think it's going to be a nice long run. We're going to have fun. It'll be dripping with information. But what we're going to do is talk about our experience, with the DOJ, the FBI, talk about what it's like with these court systems, what it's like inside the courtroom, the reason federal courts don't allow cameras in because it's one big shit show, how they rig it all just for the government to get their victory, regardless of whether or not the people there are guilty or not. It's not, a courtroom is not a place for justice to be found. It's a place for justice to be stripped away. And it's a place for the government to just be able to be lazy and... Oh, what's this guy saying? Hey, Sky High, it's none of your business what I'm doing. Either way, what I'm saying is, people need to understand what's happening within these courtrooms, and people need to understand what's happening inside the prison system. How these, COs act, how the wardens are, the amount of money that's being wasted. I think we have an opportunity with me, you, and Rufio, Ethan Ordine, to travel around Florida, since this is our home state now, and kind of give people an insight to this entire thing that we call the justice system in America, and explain people, what we've been through, and talk about our 3 individual experiences going through this, because we went through a lot of this alone, on our own, in solitary confinement, separated across the country over years. I mean, it was only during the 6-month trial did we ever see each other again, and not even know if we would see each other again for, decades. So we have a unique responsibility to tell this story and to talk to people about it. And we have a unique input and understanding of the inside workings of what all this is. So I think it would be good for people to come out to these events. We want to start putting on events around Florida and share our story, and also be able to talk to people in the crowd, have Q&As, and open up that floor for discussion, and for people to give us questions that they have about how things are going on and how they're working and what we're doing and things like that. Just today I had a friend of mine tell me that a father reached out to her and said that next week their son is going to be sentenced to life in prison for murder. And he didn't pull the trigger. The police know he didn't pull the trigger. The judge knows he didn't pull the trigger, but the guy who actually killed the person pled out and ratted on the other guy, and he's going to go home. And the other guy that didn't pull the trigger, who just happened to be there when it happened, is looking at life in prison or the death penalty. And that just shows you right now just how corrupt this is. And I want to have, the ability to tell other people's stories, not just ours, but people I've met in prison. They need to understand just how messed up it really is, because a lot of people, they sit at home and they don't understand because they don't know anybody who's gone through this. And until you've gone through something like this or known someone who's gone through this experience, it opens your eyes to a whole new world, a world that other people have been living in for a long time that we just didn't even care to listen to because we just thought because we were stupid or we just didn't really want to even look at it and pay attention. My mom told me her entire life she thought that the police were doing the right thing, that if you were in jail, you probably deserved to be there. If you got sentenced to however long, you probably deserved it because you did something wrong. And then after she saw what happened to me and you and the rest of us, she no longer thinks that anymore. And I'm hearing the same thing from other J6 families as well. We've lived a pretty good life up to that point where it said United States versus our name on there, and our entire world was flipped upside down in a matter of seconds. You go from being a father to, just being thrown into a hole and treated like a dog, an animal. So, we need to tell this and we need to share it.
I've had experiences, and just to touch on what Joe just said, I've had experience in the prison system before, right? And I did something in my previous experience, not this one. I did something wrong. I pled out because I was guilty of the crime, and it was easy for me to go through this because I'm like, all right, fuck it. I did the crime. I got to do the time or whatever. I think the amount of time that I got was fair. But this one changed. This one hits different. Like when you get hit with more than a decade in prison for something you didn't do, it hits different. And there's so many people in the prison system that have gone through this, like so many stories that we're seeing that are similar, right? Not as egregious as our case, but similar. So what ends up happening is it's true what Joe says. If you don't live it, like if you're not sitting there, even just having a loved one in there, you don't get it because you're sitting in a box for 3 to 4 years, nonstop. Like the only thing that you have to entertain you is you, and some people, if it wasn't for how strong of a resolve that we had, some people that would make people go fucking nuts. So I think this little tour of Florida would open some eyes and also give you a chance to have a beer with us and just hang out after the fact. We do this pretty much event. We open it up to a Q&A, and after we'll enjoy a few rounds at the local bar. I'm sure some of the guys will join us too. So if you have any, if you guys out here that are looking, if you guys have any venues, if you're in Florida, if you have any venues in mind or specific audience, we're looking for Republican clubs, and we're going to start reaching out. And this is in the preliminary stages of planning, but I think it's going to be a good thing. I think it's going to be a wake-up call to some people, the people that go ahead and join, because we're going to give you a straight insight into the system. We're going to give you a straight insight into how corrupt it is and how it's still happening. And it's happening because, look, nobody's advocating for violent criminals, right? But we do want equality in the system too. We don't want situations like you just mentioned, Joe, where somebody's getting life in prison. Maybe he was an accessory to something, and maybe he deserves some time. But life in prison, you don't understand that until they give it to you. People have made mistakes in life, and again, I don't know what the situation in this specific instance, but you got to look at it on a case-by-case basis, and that's not what the public is doing, and that's not what these courts are doing, right?
Well, also the father was saying too that he cashed in his whole life savings, everything to get his son a lawyer, and then just lost. The lawyers didn't do their due diligence, didn't really, fight for him hard. And now here he is. He's going to lose his son, whether it be life in prison or the death penalty. And then now he's got nothing either. So now you've got multiple lives destroyed over a corrupt justice system that just doesn't give a shit about getting to the bottom of the issue. This is what people need to understand. Judges are lazy. Prosecutors are lazy. Cops are lazy. Feds are lazy. They just want someone to blame so they can get a check mark by there saying they got a victory, that they put someone in jail. That's it. They don't care who goes in the fucking hole. They don't care who goes into jail. They just want someone. The easiest person for them to get to blame is the one that they're going to go to, and they will destroy your life in seconds because they are too fucking lazy to do the legwork, to actually do investigations and find out who actually perpetrated the crime. They will throw you in there and take everything from you and your family, and they don't care.
And the judge will sign off on it. The judges don't give a shit. And
they're horrible people.
You don't have to have any law license. I mean, some of them do, but even I actually might trust a judge without the fucking law license instead of a judge that fucking goes through it. And one of the biggest problems that we have in this country is that we've trusted lawyers so much that most of Congress is comprised of actual like lawyers, which are scumbags. So I think that we need to, I think this needs to be done. We'll be announcing, I guess, like our first dates, but I think we've all agreed that the first one will be in Pensacola, somewhere there on the the west side of the Panhandle. I know we got our brother Reno over there, and this is going to come up pretty soon. So we're working on it, and we'll make an announcement here shortly. Once we
that's something I've just been dreaming up since I've been in jail. Like, if we ever get the opportunity to come home, we need to talk about this because what's happening is just wrong. Yeah. Parents need to hear this that have, children in jail. Everybody does, because I think we have a lot of information that can help. I don't know. It's like when you read the Bible, they say, put on the whole armor of God. One of the verses is put on the whole armor of God. And what does that mean? It's to, arm yourself with knowledge, with God's word. The same thing with this. You need to put on, you need to listen to this information that we have because it could help you down the road if you're ever faced with a situation like this. Should you take a public defender? Should you hire a lawyer? And it's kind of one of those are questions that we all are going to have different opinions on, because some of us have had court-appointed attorneys that turned out to be fantastic, and some have had horrible ones. But it's really a decision that you have to learn to make on your own. But it's better to have that information so you can arm yourself with that knowledge. Because look, I'm telling you now, they came for us. They've come for Alex Jones. They've come for lots of us right now. Whenever the left gets in power, that's one thing the left does, is when they get in power, they use that power, and they go after their enemies. Our side, they talk a big game. They like to get sound clips and snippets on Fox News so they can look cool on social media and be part of memes and things like that. That's all they're there for, is a show. But the left, when they get in power again, and they will come for you. And it's not just us. They wanted to see how far they could go, and they wanted to see how much they could get away with. And guess what? When they indicted us on BS charges, no one took to the streets and fought for us. When they sentenced us to, years in prison, no one took to the streets and fought for us. So they know that no one out there is going to do a freaking thing at all. So, that's one thing about our side, is they're just too lazy to fight for anything. And I don't know how much stuff has to be done to people like us before people on the right wake up and decide to fight for their country.
Yeah. Well, perfect you bring that up, because look, all these people sitting outside the ICE facility, right? None of those were sitting outside our like the jails that we were at, right? They don't give a shit when it was us. So why would I give a shit when it's them? And look, I honestly, this is my perfect scenario. I'm going to use the illegals for an example. I think that we waste too much money housing illegals, right? And there's a humane way to do it, and it's easier. Once you catch them, hold them for maximum a week. shift them over to the Oklahoma City Transfer Center, and fly them back to their country. There's no reason to hold them unless, like, obviously they committed like another crime besides entering this country. There's no reason to hold them. They should be deported immediately. Gone.
Remember Normandy? Remember the big airborne jump? Just look, let them in C-130s, static line them hoes right outside the fucking side of the plane. Let them drop back into their country. Boom, we caught you. Put you on the back of a plane. Let's do a little fly over Mexico right there at the El Border and push them right out.
Yeah.
Hook up, stand up, shuffle to the floor, cut right in the floor, hit the ground.
Load them up with some
Heel left.
rations.
Parachute land and fall, Roger. Hit the ground.
Load them up with some
Move out.
water. It's still cheaper than housing somebody in fucking DC jail.
Sapphire Patriot, don't get your panties in the water. Okay, maybe fucking 10 people showed up. I'm talking about the country as a whole.
Yeah.
The left as a whole shows up and takes to the streets, and they go out there and it makes the news. No one on the right, and I'm talking about the majority of people, did anything for us. They didn't show up. A handful of people. That's great, and we're not saying we're not thankful for that, but I'm talking about the right as a whole. The right as a whole needs to get up off their lazy asses and actually fight for what they believe in. They keep saying that this is a constitutional republic. It's not a democracy. Well, it's not going to be one for much longer because too many people out there are lazy.
Yeah. So Sapphire.
And most of you are scared because of what happened to us, and I'm still willing to go out there and fight after what's happened to me already.
Yeah, and Sapphire, nobody's those people that stood outside. Those are true patriots. I wholeheartedly agree that sitting there for fucking 908 days straight is a testament to the support. But what we're talking about is the people that didn't show up, because honestly, there should have been droves of people. Those streets should have been flooded. Those streets around DC jail should have been flooded. So we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate your efforts there. And when I was talking about the left, the left that protested.
And if I sound bitter, it's because I am bitter. So.
And then another thing, somebody said, "I'm glad you guys squashed whatever was going on." Me and Biggs have never had.
We never had an issue.
So there was nothing to squash there. But for the most part, I think that this little tour would be important. We'll start here in Florida. We'll see how that works out, and then maybe we take our talents to, like, I used the LeBron James line. We'll take our talents to, like, California or something like that, and do
Texas
statewide. I think that it's going to be a good thing, and I think that
it's a great opportunity for law enforcement to show up and actually start arresting Antifa.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys will do your job for once.
Yeah.
Earn your money.
I mean, look, there is some police departments that have been good when it comes to these Antifa and BLM people. You know,
Texas State Troopers, man, those guys kick ass. I saw them. I mean, we were like skull dragging Antifa across, Austin, Texas, man. Those guys are badass. But the majority of these big city cops, man, they don't do shit. They just sit back and they actually will help. We got police officers. What was the guy? The one was it Maryland that said he was Antifa and they just fired his ass?
Yeah. Did you see what the picture looked like?
Oh God, he looked
like he didn't belong there. He looked like
I wasn't shocked when I saw his photo. I wasn't like, man, that comes as a shock. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he looks like he should have been a fucking Walmart greeter.
He looks like a freaking pedo.
Yeah, that too.
Fucking chomo.
If he walked into your unit, you'd be like, yeah, this guy's fucking diddled kids before. Would have gotten his ass beat before.
This guy's definitely internal affairs. He's a snitch.
Yeah. So the BOP, the way that it's ran needs to get overhauled in its entirety. We discussed something similar today in the morning show, where the people that are running these bureaus shouldn't be the people running it. Look, I've had my criticisms of Cash in the past couple months. Has he picked it up? Yes. Do I think it's enough? No. Because now we're seeing Comey, right? We got an arrest, a high-profile arrest with James Comey, but we're already seeing him use delay tactics in pushing his trial past the next election, which is going to be the goal for some of these people. So imagine if we wait 2 more years to start making these high-profile arrests. All they're going to do is delay.
Well, then you're in the statute of limitations area where it's just like it's not going to matter anyway. So You know,
Yeah.
this is why the American people were so pissed off. We wanted this shit to happen from day one, 10 months ago, because it would have, you know, negated a lot of that. We would have already been at the part where we are, you know, pushing for sentencing and all that stuff. Instead, we're just pussyfooting around, and then it's going to be midterms, and then it's going to be, you know, an election cycle all over again, and nothing's even happened. And that's what happens, unfortunately, with our side every freaking time. You look at what happened with Trump last time. He goes, well, I didn't want people to have to see a first lady being put in handcuffs. What?
Yeah, he needed to do that. I think that he sees that mistake now, and that's why he's pushing. I mean, we saw him pretty much send a tweet or a truth out the other day that we know was directed at Pam Bondi to actually do something, and within weeks we saw her actually, you know.
Oh no, that was that new lady they just hired. That wasn't Pam.
Oh well, it has to go through Pam, so we got to give her. I'll call a spade. But regardless of the fact, I mean, look, let's see how Pam Bondi's DOJ responds to our lawsuit, right? Well, we already saw how they respond to the lawsuit. Let's see how they respond moving forward. But I think Trump right now sees it, and I hope he actually does something about it, because if they get power again, the shoe on the other foot, that pendulum swing's going to hurt. If JD Vance takes it and we continue that for the next, 7 years, we haven't even gone into the first year. Then I think that the left loses some steam in doing it, because all their friends are going to be in prison.
That's when the rise of Palantir will happen.
Yeah. But going back to this thing, just stay tuned, turn those post notifications on, and as soon as we get turn the post notifications on Joe Biggs's account, my account, and the Warboy Studio account, and as soon as we get that tour started, we'll tell you guys first. And Reno, Reno's watching this. Reno, reach out to me, since we want to start in your area. We kind of want to find a venue and start talking. Maybe those people that we did. You know what? I'm not going to say that on the live. Those people that we connected the other day.
Let's show that Fetterman thing too.
Okay, wait. You sent it to my Twitter DMs, you said?
Yeah.
Stand by.
You know, the other thing too is the hosts of The View are saying that Republicans are too scared to come on their show. Stop. We've been coming on your show, you know, and when I say we, not us personally, but people on the right have been coming on that show, and all you do is attack them, demonize them, you know, trash them, make them feel uncomfortable, and then your audience attacks them. And it's like, why should we even go on your show? The only reason you want us to come on your show now is because you've lost the U.S. aid money right now, and you're starving for attention, and you need people to watch your show. So if we were to come on now, people would actually tune in and watch, because we actually have things worthy to say. No one wants to hear your guests. No one wants to hear you guys talk. So now you're begging, and you're pawing, and you're going, oh, please come on our show, but no one's going to do it anymore. You guys you burnt that bridge. And anybody that goes on that show at this point in time, you're lame.
Hey, stop it. I would love to go on The View. That would be a dream. That's like, you know what? That's my dream interview. I want to go on The View. I don't think that they'll play that. They'll have to like kick me out and re-record and do like another recording, because they will not love to play anything I did. I think I have it on the screen. I'm going to full screen it now. And let me read it out first, and then I'll play the video. Jack says, holy shit, the Democrat Party is furious at Fetterman for what he just said on live TV. I love people who voted for Trump. They aren't fascists. They aren't Nazis. They aren't destroying the Constitution. We have to turn down the temperature. So let's see what
of Pennsylvania, and I'm the only Democrat in my family. I grew up in a conservative part of Pennsylvania, and I grew up and I know and I love people that voted for President Trump, but they are not fascists. They're not Nazis. They're not trying to destroy the Constitution, those things. And that's part of another thing. I refuse to call people Nazis or fascists, or I would never compare anybody anybody to Hitler and those things. And now that kinds of extreme rhetoric is going to continue. We're going to be more likely in resulting in extreme kind of outcomes and political violence and doing all these kinds of things like Charlie Kirk. For me, all I could say is like, let people grieve. Give people the space. I'm not going to use that terrible thing and that Pasek assassination to make my argument and try to put out my views. It's like, my God, you know, he's a father that had his neck blown out by a bullet. And now people have forgotten. President Trump was in my state, was shot in the head. And if that would have, could you imagine where our nation would be if he was hit in the same way with Kirk? We really got to turn the temperature down. And we can agree to disagree on these kinds of things. But right now, shutting down the government, I just can't take it that.
Okay, let me bring this off the screen. Yeah, I could see why the Democrats would be pissed at this. It's one of their own saying the fucking truth. You know?
I mean, I didn't like him at first, but he's become, I think he's changed since he's gotten in there. Like you said, he's the only Democrat in his family. So he probably didn't really have a good understanding of like what it's like in that whole arena surrounded by those people. And now that he's in DC surrounded by the left and these Democrats, he's probably had his eyes open to a lot of stuff. And I've seen a lot of his ideas and his thoughts switch. And I've seen him become more open. And that's something that the left doesn't like. They like people that toe the line. They like people who are, going to follow orders and shut up and go by those Democrat talking points. And he's become a free thinker. So, that's also dangerous for him, because he was a radical at first. And now he is starting to change before us. This could be like the next Tulsi Gabbard or RFK, to switch sides. And I do think it's possible with a guy like him. He does seem to be pretty open-minded and not as intense as he used to be. I know he's got a batshit crazy leftist wife.
I wonder how that household works out. But you could find small pockets of rationale in Democrats and people like Fetterman. I mean, I'll never trust him 100%, but it's kind of like Tulsi Gabbard. Now I could say I kind of trust Tulsi. But I wasn't.
I think the party's shifting. It's shifting from them. It's shifting away from them. So it's not like you can't trust them. It's just that they've always kind of held the same beliefs. It's just that the party around them is becoming more radical and more violent. So it makes them easier. It makes it easier for them to kind of go, well, let me look at the other side. Maybe it's not that bad,
Yeah. And then something else, like there's also a light way of asking for violence from the left, right? Some of them are pretty intelligent in how they get this done. So one example, I'm going to share this. Let me bring it up on the screen. So a friend of the network here, Conservative Pen, she's actually the producer for Rob's show. She writes, want to explain this, Bixby. Bixby is a school where her child goes to. This is my child's school, and I'm beyond disappointed. Please repost this and call and contact Bixby, P.S. Superintendent Lydia Wilson. It has the phone number, the email. I don't want to say it on live because I don't know if it'll ban me from doing it. And then here's the original tweet. Mother alleges Bixby Public School in Oklahoma forced a student to turn a Charlie Kirk Freedom shirt inside out. Okay. There's nothing wrong with this shirt. Nothing. And I'm guessing this is a post from like TikTok. I'm so disappointed in our school system. Well, former school system since I pulled my daughter from public school. Yesterday, a principal at the intermediate school in my hometown made a student turn their shirt inside out because it was a Charlie Kirk shirt. So much for freedom of speech. It's heartbreaking to see how easily voices are being silenced in our schools. And for those quick to make it political, this man spoke about faith, morals, making the world a better place. that's something we should be encouraging, not censoring. And this is a light way, right, of demonizing right wingers. And this is what causes issues like what we had with Charlie Kirk, issues that we've had across the country. And then, it goes from that, because that's how they started, right? They started, I explained this morning also. So they start with Hillary Clinton calling us a basket of deplorables. We took it amongst ourselves, but that began the dehumanization. Then they took us off social media platforms because our voices were dangerous. When they saw that we were activists in real life, and that didn't work, they started definancing us, taking us off financial platforms. When they saw that we don't do this for money and it still didn't affect what we did in real life, right? COVID hit. And then they started locking us down. They're like, well, you can't leave the house and you have to stay home and you have to wear these masks, six foot distancing. When they saw that, we wiped our ass with all those mandates, and we started putting together reopen rallies and people were showing up. Then they said, what do we do? Well, they unleashed the hounds. They burned cities down in the summer of love for the entire summer with absolutely zero accountability. Then they steal an election from us. And then they have the audacity to say that the reason why people were angry and stormed the Capitol was because Donald Trump told them so. No, bullshit. We've been pissed off for a very long time.
Yeah, your mic, just something happened with your mic.
You hear me now?
Even Reno's saying it too.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, sorry. Where did I cut off? Or were you hearing me?
I mean, we can still hear you, but it was muffled. The clarity went away.
Oh, okay. Probably because I came off. I think I turned down my gain too low. But like all of that is a culmination. And at the end of the day, what they want us, they don't want us in chains. They don't want us in solitary confinement. They want us dead. They want us dead. They want us in prison for fucking life. So with that being said, let's start advocating for reform, prison reform, and justice reform. And I think that the tour is going to be a great.
The other thing too that happens in this country too is the conspiracies, and these conspiracies are given birth from a lack of transparency in investigations and things like that. So you see all these wild conspiracy theories with Charlie Kirk. You see all this wild stuff from Vegas. You see all these different things that come to light because they just withhold so much stuff and they act so weird. So it forces us to look at things, and everybody starts to then put a microscope to everything, and then they start nitpicking, and now everybody's theorizing about what's happening and this and that. And that creates a distrust amongst, both the parties, then between the people and government and law enforcement. There's a guy I work with, and he's from Newtown, Connecticut, Sandy Hook. And he says that the chief of police, and at this point in time, this guy was working for the State Department. He was former U.S. military. But at the time Sandy Hook happened, he was a State Department employee. And that's always code for, doing some spook stuff like that. So he's training some people, and the thing comes up on TV about the shooting, and he says he watches it and sees it and gets this weird feeling that it's just something's not right. Well, he knows the chief of police there, and he knows the sheriff. That school had been closed for 2 years, he said, and he's telling me this all a few days ago. He goes, Adam Lanza, the one kid that was killed, they said that day actually died the day before. When he looked up the on the Social Security website, his name and all that, it said that he had actually died the day before. He said the chief of police and the sheriff, when they were watching TV, they saw a coroner come up. He said in 30 years of law enforcement, they'd both been in, they'd never seen this coroner before. So, there's all this weird shit that happens in this country that leads to distrust, and which turns into anger and violence and all this different stuff, and it's just, it's crazy that, you would think that Trump and these guys would come in and get to the bottom of this stuff, because there's so many questions about Sandy Hook. There's so many questions about Vegas still. There's so many questions about the attempted assassination on the president himself. We need to get to the bottom of this shit. We need to figure out what's really going on. If they really want to build trust back up and they want us to listen to half the shit they even say, they need to build that trust up. But we just don't have it because there's such a lack of transparency and they're always covering shit up for someone else.
Yeah. And welcome, Rob, to the show.
What's up, boys?
Okay. Oh, your audio's working.
Yeah, everything's working. It's amazing what happens when you get a new computer and everything's working properly.
And so Rob, I was about to actually say something. Rob, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Rob was at an event the other day for somebody that's being politically persecuted too on a gun charge, and he's without bail. Actually, Rob, I'll let you.
So the guy's name is Kyle Wayne Coluda, and so he moved from Arizona. He was an Air Force vet. So did 20 years. He was in Arizona, was on his way to move to New Hampshire, from what I'm told, but he got pulled over in Massachusetts. And in Massachusetts, they created this thing called the Chapter 135, which is a dangerousness clause where they can hold you up to 120 days without bail. And he had gotten pulled over. He had been in the state 30 hours. I mean, all this is out there. And his guns were locked up in the back of the car. And Massachusetts was like, nope. And so they've been holding him now. I think we're at 100 days right now. They've denied him bail 4 times. When an employee of Mayor Wu, which is the mayor of Boston, black guy, and I'm saying it, I don't give a shit, because there is the way it's going in Boston and places like that, it's going this way.
I remember when it was me and Matty Walsh.
Yeah, Marty kid. This guy's got a rap sheet a mile long, but he's working for the mayor, and then he gets pulled over by a state trooper. They find him with a Glock switch. So I don't believe that there's anything called an illegal machine gun, but it was an illegal machine gun. And he tased the state trooper, and they let him out on $2,500 bail, while putting Kyle in prison now with no bail. That he was that they keep saying that he's a danger to society, does not have a record at all.
Public safety factor.
And so it's just Chapter 135. And you know what? He reached out to me yesterday, Joe, and through his wife, his fiance, Saranda. And he's having a real hard time, bro. So he messaged Saranda and told me to ask you if you would be willing to talk to him on the phone. He's having a hard time in there.
Absolutely.
He's never been in jail before, so
he can't do it.
He's hurting, dude. And they, the other thing too is with the way Massachusetts is. I don't know the way it is in any other states. Is when you're being held on bail while you're supposedly going to trial, you get held in a county prison. You don't get held in a fucking prison. You get held in a county jail. They have him in a prison in Worcester, Mass, which is really fucking. It's a shit show, dude. So the one person he wanted to talk to other than me is you.
Okay.
I don't have the lived experience being in jail and being in solitary confinement, so obviously he wants to talk to you. But yeah, it's crazy. We did a press conference for him, and then right after the press conference, he went in front of the judge, and the judge was like, "No, he's a danger to society." And we went, "What? The guy doesn't have a record."
Yeah, and it's not a violent charge.
No, but if you look at the Chapter 135, there's a list of things that will get you as a dangerousness, and and then again, also all the guns he had were quote unquote illegal in Massachusetts. Obviously, he had 30-round mags, and they were like, but he had them locked up in his car. And the other thing too, which flies in the face of Massachusetts' own rules, is that you have 60 days when you move to the state. You have 60 days to apply for your gun license. Like, meaning you can have your shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's been in jail. I mean, all the information's out there. I'll text you all the stuff, dude. But so he's again going for bail on the 21st, and I'm going to be down there again for that in Gardner, Mass, on that date for his bail hearing. And I'm going to be in Boston this Saturday for the No Kings thing.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the No Kings thing down here. I have to talk to Kim to see if she can host the show while we're on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to do the same thing because I got Reno's going to be out and about, and he can't be in the studio.
Well, when are they happening? This weekend?
Yeah, Saturday.
So
we'll be there, just covering it. I'm not gonna, and covering it alone is already a disruption. Like I don't even have to try to be disruptive. I could just show up, and they'll stop. Who's ever on the stage will stop speaking. So I guess I'll just show up.
I'll have to see if there's one here. I haven't even paid attention. I mean, I don't even get on the internet that much anymore. I've been taking such a break.
Fuck
it's bike week. Huh?
It's bike week over there? Oh, that's right. It is bike week over there.
Yeah, Biketoberfest, man. It just started today. I mean, it's actually been going on for like 5 days already, but the actual official day is today it starts.
Oh, I'm gonna buy a Honda Cruiser and go up there.
Fuck out of here.
You're not coming near me, man. You're like, I don't know who the fuck this motherfucker is.
I'll be like, Biggs, my friend Biggs.
You already drive a Tesla. Shit. You don't fucking show up and embarrass me with another ride.
Oh shit. Dude.
You see how Tesla drivers pump their tires up when they're flat? They sit their butt down on the bicycle pad and just pop their butt like they're twerking.
What, bro? You guys
wear
got
onesies
with Honda Shadows? They're an American bike.
A Honda
Shadow.
Honda Shadow, yeah.
Look, if you're gonna do anything with Honda, get a Fury.
If you have a Honda Shadow, put it this way: I rode street bikes for a long time, and like when your buddy shows up in like a Honda Shadow, you don't even want to be next to him. So not even like the Jap bike riders want them around.
Yeah, no.
They're in your own crew of like gay dudes with like tassels.
Dude, there's a crew out here with like Vespas, and they're all like these big fat white dudes with like big fat white chicks on the back, and they're all sitting there on these scooters, dude. And they're like, there's a crew of them. There's like 10
super
of them.
hooked up too. They put like they put over like
little leather
50
tassels
grand.
and shit on there, and they're fucking playing like, you know, Dimesh Pode at full blast.
Yeah, those motherfuckers come to Laconia every year, and we're done laughing at them. We just can't laugh at them. We don't have any fucking fuel in the tank to laugh at them anymore. They're driving up and down fucking Weir's Beach.
I'm going to say this. I went and watched Tron last night for the second time. I went for the 10 to midnight showing, and I saw it this time in 3D IMAX. This movie's awesome.
Yeah.
You're the
I'm just throwing that out there. It's so fucking good.
You're the only person I've heard to say that. Everybody I've read or seen said it sucked.
They probably didn't watch the same movie. Maybe their tampon needed to be changed or something, but it was glorious.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tonight. To check that out. I think in one of the episodes we played the new trailer for it. I think
yes, we did.
Dude, actually, it's getting good reviews. It's the people that work in Hollywood are trying to fucking downplay, but all the people who are watching it, like the Rotten Tomatoes ranking on it is high. The other one that they have with the popcorn one is high. Right now, it's got an 85% approval rating around the world.
I would imagine that the reason why Hollywood wouldn't like the movie and wouldn't be pushing it
because there's no woke bullshit in it at all.
No, not only that. Did you see that the Tesla? What's the humanoid thing that they have? The robot thing.
Yeah,
it was at the premiere, and had the red lights on, and they were showcasing it at the premiere with Elon Musk's fucking autonomous robots. So that's probably why. But I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm a big Tron fan. I enjoyed the one before this.
I watched Tron Legacy again last night before I went to the theater and watched it. I mean, it's good. It's just not as good as this one.
Great.
This is visually amazing. The soundtrack is 9 Inch Nails, and it's fucking amazing. And if you eat mushrooms before you go watch it, it's even more amazing.
Not that you did.
Not going to have that experience.
That would be a good idea to do.
No, I definitely did that, and I tweeted that I did that. Dude, everybody that hates on mushrooms, I'm sorry, but guess what? I have PTSD from combat and from everything I've been through here. It helps take that away. It makes my anxiety go down. That's why the VA now prescribes it. Microdosing it is healthy. It's good for you. it's better than taking Xanax or all this other shit that I do take, which I still like. But that's aside from the point. Shrooms work, man, and they're fun too.
Yeah. Cocaine does that too. I'm not going to tell you how I know. I just know it helps.
Oh, so she wants to know when we're going to give a review on Titanic. I love the Titanic movie because every time you watch it, it always goes down on you. Every time.
Is it? It is a Disney movie, isn't it?
I don't fucking know. I don't care.
I think it is a Disney movie.
What, Titanic?
No,
James Cameron.
Tron.
Oh yeah. It's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last half hour of fucking Titanic was amazing.
Stop. That's
The
hate
first 3 hours of it sucked.
Dude, I went and watched that movie twice in theaters when I was a kid.
Titanic?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Dude, when the fucking boat goes up and the people are falling on the propellers and shit and bouncing off of it.
The hour of the fucking movie was great. The rest of it sucked.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, like when they're like sitting there like staring at each other's eyes and like, you know, the whole time they're standing on the front of the boat, I wish they'd fall over.
Yeah.
I like
he's
that.
drawing her naked. I was like, oh, titties.
Yeah.
Now, one movie I enjoyed, and I think we had it on the tablets, is that Midway. Did you get to see Midway?
What?
Biggs?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it. I liked it, but you could tell that the Chinese were in charge of creating the narrative in the movie because it was very like pro China.
Wasn't that Steven Spielberg?
Midway?
I don't remember.
Maybe it could be. It was. I mean, visually, it was a great movie, and it ran like a movie, and it ran like a Steven Spielberg movie, but maybe not. But it
It
did.
was Roland Emmerich.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson was in it. Roland Emmerich was Independence Day.
Yeah. See, I enjoyed Aladdin. That's probably why I fucking joined the Bad Boys. The musical. Fucking Reno says the musical. All right, now I'm just talking shit. I'm going to sign off because I got to drive home. If you guys want to stay.
No, I got to go too. I just wanted to hop on and talk about those things. But look for the tour coming up. And then also we're looking at starting a security company in the future too as well. So that'll be happening to make sure that what happened to Charlie doesn't ever happen again to anybody else. So we'll as these new ventures grow legs and come to light, we will share that information with everyone in the future. And we'll also save you from spending money on shitty movies. I'll watch them for you. What's that movie that you told me to watch that I watched and it was the worst fucking thing I ever saw?
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't remember what movie. I tricked Biggs into watching. I like sat in the car and
it's when we're in the bus going to and fro from the courthouse, the federal courthouse.
I told these guys, I'm like, hey, there's this great fucking movie you guys have to watch. It's like a B-rate movie, but it's so good. It was so fucking horrible that I was pissed off.
Fucking movie?
And I told Joe in the car.
It was about like this weird cult. It was just the stupidest thing in the world.
And the whole thing was like it was shot in a set, even like the outdoor scenes. It was so bad, dude.
What was the name of the movie?
I forgot. When I get
we should have our own show. We'll just call it Sleeveless.
I wouldn't be part of that with my little noodle arms.
Yeah, you could do Tesla show.
Yeah, right. What's this tour? Hello.
We're gonna tour Florida and do like little. Go ahead, Biggs. I'll let you.
Yeah, we're just gonna go around and talk about the experience that we went through. Talk about what it's really like in federal court in trial there, what to expect, what the marshals are like when dealing with them, the judges, the jurors,
that's awesome.
Prosecutors, what it's like should you pick would you get a paid attorney or a court appointed one, and kind of just help people arm themselves with information from people who've actually gone through all this. And then we'll take Q&As and stuff like that. We'll sell tickets. Because like I said, we can't get jobs, can't get regular jobs. So we've got to learn, we've got to find alternative ways to support our families. And I think this is a good way to, inform people about shit, share our experience, and travel around, meet people, and, just kind of get our story out there.
Well,
and hopefully that'll build up some momentum and steam to get us, some screen time. So maybe the president sees it and finally pardons us instead of trying to pat Bibi Netanyahu on the butthole.
Yeah.
I said that.
We are the woke Reich. Don't forget it.
That's why it's in my profile, woke Reich. All day, every day.
That's an interesting term.
Yeah, woke Reich. Fuck that asshole. So that said, do you mind if I announce my plans while we're here?
No.
You're finally transgendering?
Yes. Yeah, I had to.
Transitioning.
Go
ahead, Rob.
I want to become a black guy. I just in the worst way. I want to get in touch with my Sicilian.
You get to be Black Rob.
Yeah. Black Rob.
Not as fun as you think. You get the N word gets used. You get called the N word.
I already, because I have a drop of fucking more blood, I have the N pass. So
nigga, please.
Nigga, please. I'm just a dude playing a dude portrayed by another dude. Yep, you got that right. So I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be I'm not calling it a tour, but I'm going to start driving around the country and filming the stuff right from, obviously Boston is going to be my test run this weekend. And then once I get all the information out there, I'm going to start going to places like Chicago. And I'm just going to drive around the country going to all these fucking hot spots and start interviewing people right from the fucking scene. I'm tired of sitting on my ass. When I joined in 2017, I joined to be out there in their face to let them know that fucking Americans are proud. And, the brothers were the only ones doing anything at that time. So I can't stand sitting idle behind this fucking microphone, and I need to get back out there.
The brothers.
Hell yeah.
Listen, we will continue to host you on the War Boys Studios as long as you don't grab your DJI mic in your hand and you start doing this with the fucking DJI mic.
Oh no, I got the fucking handle like you have.
Please get a handheld.
Yeah, no, I got the handle for the fucking microphone that goes in it. You just need.
There's only so much gayness that the War Boys Studios will tolerate.
I'm actually going to do that now.
Fucking Patty on here, so it's very fucking gay.
All right, guys.
All right, later, Joe.
All right, so I'm closing out this show. Love you guys. Tune in. Make sure you hit those post notifications on everybody that's on the screen. Myself, Joe Biggs, Patriot Rob, and please turn post notifications on the War Boy Studios. Saturday is going to be hot.
Yep.
And Rob, let me tell you something. If Kim is hosting the show and she gets over 27,000 live viewers at once, there might be a case there that she's the one, she's the rating champion here in the War Boys Studios.
Listen, I'm going to set it up in my studio before we go. It is my motherfucking show. And there's no fucking way in hell I'm going to be letting anybody else fucking do that shit on their fucking show. If we want to do it on the War...
Oh, we're going to have to... Yeah, we're going to do it on... Well, here's the thing, and I guess we'll just do this live. So StreamYard, right, has the mobile app for guests, right? And it works flawlessly. So I think that Kim should give us a login so we could set up one studio that's going to do this whole thing with everybody's little things on the corners, right? So it'll be, Critical Mass, War Boys. Well, mine, I don't have one. So Critical Mass, War Boys, yada, yada, yada on the thing. But I think we need to use StreamYard for this because I don't want to run into issues while we're on the road.
Does she have like the credentials that I do? Or is it just me, you, and Barry?
Well, we don't have credentials because she's the one that has the StreamYard. She pays for StreamYard.
I'm not talking about the StreamYard. I'm talking about for this. If she came in here to the War Boys,
she could host. Yeah, she can host it. The problem that we're gonna have is that me and you are gonna be mobile.
Right. That's not gonna be a problem. That's not gonna be a problem for me.
Well, EV sometimes is an issue. On the mobile side, like if you're mobile, like right from your phone, because what it does is it signs you off here and there.
No, what I'm gonna do, what I planned on doing for this one, but for future ones, I actually I already have it worked out where I'll be able to be in the studio and not have a fucking issue. Is I'm getting I'm gonna
Yeah,
order a Surface, a Microsoft
Yeah.
Surface, and just have that carry that with me. That way, I have a tablet that's got fucking Windows 11 on it. It runs the camera, it runs the fucking thing. But for Saturday, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go live on X, and then somebody in here is gonna do a screen share. But I'm also going to have two phones with me. One's going to be I'm going to be running a space. So if you're in that space and people want to ask us questions about what's going on, we'll be able to hear what's going on in the space. I'm going to have somebody hosting a space for us the whole time while we're out there. So it's going to be me, you, and I don't know. I think Chad is going. Chad might come to Boston. I'm not 100% sure, but he's going to go. He might be somewhere, and so we're going to have like 3 streams. So if we need to have communication, we'll have the space so that me, you, and anybody else is in that space, and we can talk to one another about what's going on.
Yeah.
I've already been working it out. I was going to call you later, but I guess this is the way
Yeah,
to
we'll
do it
work
now.
out the technical details. What we'll do is we'll spend tomorrow kind of working out those technical details and just making sure that everything's going to run smooth.
I'm headed.
I got
in the
one
morning.
more. I got one more announcement as far as the studio goes. I am almost at my 24-hour mark. The Warboy Studios will be joining YouTube as a destination, as a direct destination for the studio, starting tomorrow. I think we're going to do the news brief tomorrow through the YouTube channel. Also, we'll see how long that lasts.
You ran this broadcast on my YouTube channel, but not my fucking X, you moron.
Oh, but the reason why I didn't do it is I didn't know if you were going to, like, he called me last minute to jump on, and I didn't want to go live.
Yeah, I don't have
and
anything
you
going on
wanted,
today.
yeah, if you had something going on, I didn't want to jump in because he just called me and he told me, let's go.
So I'm heading to Boston in the morning to an undisclosed location. And I'm going to be setting up what we're going to be doing on Saturday morning. And I just want to say, if anybody's out in Boston, you want to meet up with me, find them. We'll be over by the State House. You'll see the motorcycle with the flags on it. There I am. So,
yeah. All right. That concludes today's show. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys, and Barry is fucking joined right
late.
when I go to hit.
right
when I go to hit this.
No, that's fucking Reno.
Oh,
that's not Barry.
Reno.
I don't know how he's logging in as fucking Barry, but that's definitely not.
Yeah,
Barry
because Barry uses the same login I do.
Oh, okay.
Hey, so I'm gonna since you guys were doing this, it made me think of it. Hey, so I'm gonna research when I get home tonight. Because I'm at work. When I get home tonight, I'm going to research a stream wall so we can put all of your streams on one log.
You know what we can do too is we could stream on Twitch, and then remember what we use for gaming, the multi-Twitch. We can multi-Twitch it, and whoever's hosting can just switch.
Yeah, but there is a stream wall out there, and a lot of the restreamers are using it now. It'll have multiple, like how we are right now. It'll all be live feeds.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be in downtown Boston probably about 10 a.m. fucking Eastern. So
I know I'm gonna get to work on it. I'm gonna get to work on it.
If I could find out, I tried to do it with Barry when I was in Buckingham Palace. I just couldn't figure it. Barry was on this side, so I couldn't play with the controls. But since we're running Mac and we run Mac on everything, I was trying to figure out how we could FaceTime. Right, it makes it so much easier. You just FaceTime into your Mac, right? Put it on the screen and then share screen with that. But the problem that you have is the audio. The audio doesn't come through. Reno, I think you were the one that was there. You were seeing the Buckingham Palace. Was it clear? Was the video clear?
Yeah, it was clear, dude. It was clear. It was clear as shit, just like we are right now. But
FaceTime gives you like the best video feed.
But
So
no
if I could
audio.
figure that out, that's probably like the best way to go through, because then I have two-way audio. I could put my earbuds in.
And unfortunately, Rob's not grown up enough to have an Apple product. So
well, hopefully Rob grows up. Yeah, you know what I researched? I didn't know this. I thought the iPad Pro was Mac based, not iOS based. If not, that would be like the perfect fucking streaming tool.
Sure.
Well, the
Yeah, they
Microsoft
make
Surface is
they make
perfect
gimbals
for it,
that are
actually.
they make gimbals that are for MacBooks or not MacBooks but iPad Pros.
Yeah, but the iPad Pro, you could just throw it in a book bag and connect. If it was Mac based, you could just throw it in a book bag, connect the fucking Osmo to it, and just fucking have your blue your
You could do the same thing with a Microsoft Surface.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, niggas.
All
All right, homie. Oh, hey,
right.
I gotta give you a call when you get off because I've already got your stuff secured.
My stuff.
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
talk to you.
Okay. We need a group call tomorrow just to kind of get the technical issues out of the way.
Can we do it after 1 Eastern?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I'll be on my bike. I won't be able to join the call.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay, love you, niggas.
All
All right,
niggas.
gentlemen. Oh, grand jury. Wait. There's news.
What?
Grand jury just indicted John Bolton.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
For handling classified documents. Fucking fitting.
But it's
fitting.
all. Yeah, but dude, it's all. This is all theater. You fucking know this as well as I do.
It doesn't matter if it's theater. They're going to jail. These
You
are
think so?
These are process crimes. You can't fight this. You can't fight this in a jury trial, right? You can't fight this in a jury trial because it's clear cut. If it's not like they caught him
in prison. What is he?
They're
90?
gonna put John Bolton in prison.
They're not gonna put a 90-year-old man. How the fuck old?
Dude,
is
they
John
lock
Bolton?
up 90-year-old men all the time. That's like a normal thing. You know, the judge. They always people always ask the judge. They're like, oh, he's 80 something. He has hip problems. He has cancer, whatever. And the judge is like, well, he shouldn't have committed a crime at fucking 80 years old.
He's 76.
Yeah, whatever. However old he is, he's going to prison. These are like black and white crimes. It's like getting a parking ticket, right? Like if you've parked in the wrong space and you got a parking ticket, like you're not beating that. You take it to trial, you're losing every time.
So these are. So it says handling of classified meaning he shouldn't have been handling the classified documents.
Yeah, he was sharing them with people that aren't supposed to have them. Usually that's what those try. I mean, I haven't looked at the indictment. Obviously, I just saw it come in. But it's handling classified documents.
Gotcha.
Out of Maryland,
boy.
grand jury in Maryland. If it's just outside of Baltimore, he's fucked. If it's in Baltimore, he might have a chance with the jury. He might have a chance.
You don't. So this is obviously gonna go to a jury trial, and you depending on where.
I don't think I don't think he should take it to a jury trial.
You think he should plead out? I
think he should plead out, and he might not get any time if he pleads out. Well, yeah, actually he does because the sentencing guidelines. I remember for Trump's case, the sentencing guidelines. Even if he were to plead out, he would have had to do about 3 years. You better get in that fucking white Bronco, nigga.
Dude, yeah, but you don't think it's his first crime? You don't think they're going to give him fucking
no, because the
probation?
federal system doesn't work that way. The federal system doesn't give you extra points. That's the only difference. They won't give you extra points, but you're getting points. And if he sits and handling classified documents, I remember in the Trump case, in its least, its best case scenario is a level 17, and he would have to serve at least 1.5 years to 2.5 years in prison.
Yeah, well, they're going to put him in a country club.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely going to put him in a country club. Now that's a given, because he's not going to get if he's under 10 years. If he's under 10 years, then he's definitely not going to do too much time.
Martha Stewart's older.
Yeah,
that's what fucking Trix 67 says.
Yeah. All right, now I gotta run.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go too. All right, see
All
you
right.
later, everybody.
Later, guys.